Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Sorry for the long layoff in between races. Finally back out on track after almost 2-week hiatus. Back at the ARCA Menards
Pit lane
series.
speed limit is
Life
45
happened.
miles per hour.
Had a lot of
Your
stuff
exit's
come
clear.
up.
Watch the
I
white
needed
line.
to
All right,
focus on
Jake,
some
you've
things
got
outside of
after 17
iRacing
time.
that for the most part happened in the afternoons and evenings because of my work schedule, so just decided to step back from a little while, take care of some priorities. Knew that iRacing would be back, and yeah, come back to it. Hopefully a little refreshed. Probably really slow because I really haven't practiced at all this week for this. And it's at Texas, which I struggled at last time I raced here in the V-Fix series. So we'll see what we can do. Try to do mid-pack qualifying effort. It's not a crazy strong split, but not a slow one by any means. So just gonna try to find some sort of pace in the middle. Hopefully build a tire save a little bit, not lose it off of turn 2. Probably not going to be able to race and get races on every single day like I was before, but certainly going to do what I can to not make it weeks in between the races either. Just, again, got priorities that I need to take care of. That it's just kind of how the schedules work out, unfortunately. So lap 1 was just a momentum lap throwaway. We'll see what I can do here on lap 2.
P15, you're currently 0.
I drove it in a bit too deep into turn 1. Trying to get some time off of turn 2, get a little slide there. Kind of hurt the momentum off the corner. If I can get anywhere near the low 30.9s, I'll be happy with that, even if that's not real quick overall. Trying to carry as much momentum into turn 3 as I can without losing it. Kind of like that. And we're going around, trying to save it. Lap's not going to count, so we're going to be starting in the back. Not a good way to start this off. I told you I was out of practice.
P16.
Just tried to get what I could there in lap 3, and unfortunately drove it a bit too deep. So,
That's the end of the session. 16th place.
We probably would have been like a 10th place car, somewhere in a 7th to 10th place car had it not been for that. I was right on for a 30.93, so it'll hurt us starting in the back of the field, but I'll try to do what I can. Yeah, just like I said, had some other things I needed to focus on, some stuff I needed to catch up on, some deadlines. It's kind of, I guess you could say, a little bit of a rough patch. It's life though. It's what happens to every single person that I know. It's not something that's any different or any more tragic or whatever for me compared to anybody else. Just needed to refocus priorities. And honestly, I was getting pretty frustrated with myself and my driving, so a break was not necessarily the worst thing. Um, Gonna try to hopefully have some fun with it. Like I said, might only get a couple more races in for this week. Get back to the late model open series, maybe be fixed at Michigan. Honestly, you might start seeing some more road races out of me, depending on when I can run. Because if my schedule only allows me to run in certain times outside of when I have this other stuff going on, it may just be like early mornings, either before work or on a weekend morning or something like that. And typically, the stuff that fills then is road racing things. So I know I'm pretty much a pavement oval guy, and that's what I've kind of started doing and what I like to do. But for racing, I still just like racing in general. So you may see some more road races out of me if I can get stuff. If it's a week where I think it's going to be really light and can't get much in, then I may try to squeak a road one in. But may also be, I don't know, just basically got things I need to take care of every week. And every night, get those taken care of before I go racing, and then see at that point what's left for me, and kind of go from there. So, yeah, starting in the back, 16th. Not, like I said, not a real good effort. Probably would have been a few spots ahead if I wouldn't have lost it there in turn 3.
Stay behind Mosley.
That's what happens when you don't practice much and you try to push it all the way to its edge, especially on a track that I'm not crazy comfortable on. So, very fortunate enough to have not gotten a 2x out of that wall contact. Hopefully, pick up a few spots. I think there's 22 in the race, so still a chance if I can tire save to pick up a couple spots, get to a top 10, and maybe see
catch up to
a tiny bit of an I rating gain, hopefully a little bit of safety rating gain. Just try to get stuff back right direction. Again, I know I'm not crazy good to begin with, don't have insane natural abilities, so come back off a long break, it's always going to be rough. So, but we'll see what we can do. Hopefully, just going to rely on the tiny bit of 1.5 mile skills that I've required to hope that I can tire save here and use a lot less wheel into the corners than what I was using in qualifying. And just hope that people around us shred their tires apart, and by the last 10, maybe 15 laps, we start going forward. It's about all I can do, just try to avoid whatever chaos happens back here. Hopefully it'll be a fun return to the car and not me doing something stupid or getting involved in a wreck early on and getting
Jake,
frustrated.
Here we go.
Get ready to
Green,
roll.
green, green.
We are under green though, 35 laps here. Pretty standard 1.5 mile length for the ARCA cars.
Coming up low side.
Got the 11 to our inside, so we're just going to hang here to the outside going into one.
Still there. Clear inside.
Alright, we're able to clear the 11, so just going to take kind of a normal exit. Just watch. Don't get on the throttle too hard out of turn 2, lose it. Gonna take the arc. Probably going to be lifting a little bit more than most people. Tendency to underdrive the car when I go to tire saving mode, but we'll see what we can do. Just right behind the 18 for right now, kind of see what they do. Drag a brake a little bit into turn 1. Keep from using quite so much wheel. Unless I really find that I'm losing the pack big time, then may have to drive it a little bit deeper in. Up 20 loses it. Probably should have gone a little bit lower, but that's going to take out like pretty much the entire field behind us. It's like 4 cars get through that. So
B14.
I guess fortunate break that we're able to avoid that. This is quite a bit of a gap back to 15th. 14 is back there, so no pressure from behind. Just focus on tire saving everybody up front. I feel like I'm probably entering turn 3 a little too shallow. Pushed a little bit. Looks like we've got the 16. Got into the outside wall off of turn 4. I'll pick up a spot. Pulling away a little bit. Definitely need to go faster than what I'm going to keep up with the front. You can see leaders about half a straightaway already ahead. Starting in 16th, it's going to be pretty tough to move that far up through the field. I think a top 10 is what I'm going to be shooting for. Trying to hang kind of even distance to the 15 and the 18 up ahead. Still feeling like I entered turn 3 a bit too shallow. Push me out of the corner and to stress the right front a little more than I wanted to there. It's going to be kind of consistent with it. They got back to the 14, we're 2.5 seconds ahead. Just no pressure from behind. Just allow me to focus on my marks, my lines. So I'm not quite getting that lifting point there into turn 3. Really struggling on the 3 and 4 end. 0.4 seconds up to the 10 who's in 10th place.
31.49.
Use the throttle to rotate the car through the middle of 1 and 2. You can see the 18 got a little loose. If you get it on the throttle a little too quick, you definitely can lose it in the middle of 2. Still entering a bit too shallow into turn 3. Gonna have to lift the throttle there to keep it from pushing up. Just barely tagged the wall there. Really fortunate that the car didn't stick to the wall. I don't think you're going to see the 18 make the same mistake in turn 2 again. Mistake out of 4 though also allowed the 10 to pull away, and we've lost quite a bit of time to the 15. I really have got to fix that turn 3 entry. 8 laps in. 27 to go.
Okay, Jake, that's good consistency. Keep it up.
Way too much speed into 1. Too much throttle there in the center of 1 and 2. 18 starting to pull away. We're holding even with 10. I drove turn 1 and 2 like junk. Alright, felt like I got a little better about 3 that time. Really, even if it doesn't translate to time, the 18 it translates to a little bit of better tire wear. Trying to slow it down a little bit into 1. So keep consistent 10s. Start to feel pressure from the 15. So kind of clips the apron there in the middle of 3 and 4. I did the exact same thing. We're both getting loose. And just making too many stupid mistakes. Gonna drag brake just a little bit to get it down into 1. Got a feeling a lot of these guys are doing good at tire saving, probably better than me, so not sure how many spots we'll be able to pick up the rest of the race, but we'll get lucky and they'll start falling off the second half of the race. A little better 3 and 4 that time. Sticking even with pretty much the 3 cars in front that we've been focusing on. We drove turn 1 there. Higher exit attitude just to try to keep it from stressing the right front as much. Side by side between the 10 and the 15 up ahead. Excuse me, that's the 8. 15 8 starting to fall back a little bit. 10's moved up to 9th. Need to start lifting a little bit earlier into turn 1. That right front's wearing out. Setup, I would say, is definitely tight on entry. Apparently, iRacing had loaded in a wrong setup at the beginning of the week. Did not drive it, obviously. Did not. I think I saw like one video of somebody that talked about it. So I can only imagine how bad that was, given how tight this thing is.
That last lap was at 31. Might take 3.
What it does to the right front when you're overdriving it. Like, I can only imagine what I would have done to it, given how bad I am on right fronts on 1.5 miles. So keep bouncing it. I keep from bouncing it off the apron there. A bit of disturbance kind of disrupts it. 18 drags the wall into 1. Pretty decent shot for him. We feel pretty bad if we can't catch up to him after that. We're staying about even with the 15. So, unless you really start seeing some tire fall off, top 10's gonna be pretty difficult to do, but I'll give it a good run the last half of the race. Approaching that here, we're catching back up to the 18. See the 8 still battling with the 15 up ahead.
Just done at 31.93.
Use throttle a little bit to help rotation in the middle of 1 and 2, but not over rotate it and slide it too bad. Still no pressure at all from behind from 14. He's 5.5 seconds back. I enter turn 3 low again. Really, really bad 3 and 4 that time. Should have been catching the 15 and instead lose time because of that terrible 3 and 4. Definitely feeling the right front grip go down a little bit. Leaders are just barely gone. 18 gets in the wall again.
Coming up on your...
He kind of cut down. I thought he knew I was going to be entering inside of him. Kind of turned in. Guess I wasn't technically there.
Sideline's clear.
I don't know how we didn't make contact there, but at least able to clear him. Pick up 1 spot.
12.
So, guessing where I'm technically supposed to run. A little too much throttle there in the middle of 1 and 2, kind of over-rotated the car. 1.9 back of the 15, 2.9 back of the 10. Just kind of trying to start a battle for 8th. Just gonna set sights on the 8 for right now. Just 1.4 ahead. Just try to focus on lifting at the right
Jake,
spots, not
that's half
overdriving the
distance. You're
entries,
looking good for fuel.
but also not killing 3 and 4. Kind of overdrove turn 2 there a little bit. Only allowed the 8 to pull away. Be 19 down and 16 to go this time by.
The gap to Mosley behind is increasing. It's now 0.83.
Pulling away from the 18, so no pressure that way. I'm overdriving the middle of 1 and 2. Start dragging the brake a little bit to keep it more on the bottom. 0.9 to the 15. So still staying about the same as it was once we cleared the 18. Ran about a half lane up that time to 3 and 4. Lost me a little bit of time to the 15. Picked up a 10th on the 8.
The gap ahead is now 1.47. That lap time was
little light brake drag.
32.20.
Trying to work it just slightly lower in 1 and 2. I got on the throttle a little hard there in the middle of 3 and 4, kind of got it loose. Like the 8 had a bit of an issue off of 4. Probably could have gained a little bit more on him if I wouldn't have had that issue in 3 and 4. So I need to drag the brake a little bit more in 1 and 2. Hit on the throttle too early. Gotta minimize those mistakes if I want any shot at the 8. Well, it's looking like that's gonna be the only spot we're gonna get unless somebody has any kind of incident up ahead. So we're not gaining on the 15 at all and not really gaining on the 10 either.
The track temperature is increasing. It's now 123 Fahrenheit.
Track's picking up some temperature from when the session started. So it's just adding to the slide. Felt like I drove a little bit of a better 1 and 2 that time.
The front is now 1.26.
And we'll keep the tires a little more consistent the rest of the run. Not when I do that in the middle of 3 and 4. Just can't really gain much on the 8. Everybody's pretty even in terms of pace right now.
32.57.
Lost a lot of time there through 1 and 2. About a 10th, almost 2 tenths. The 8. I think I'm swinging to underdriving it now, but just trying to do what I can to keep it consistent. I guess if nothing else, I'm running where I'm supposed to run right now, so it's not the worst return after a break. Working lap 25, so we'll have 10 to go next time by. Got a tiny bit of time on 10. It's just not enough laps left in the race. Better qualifying effort. Not so many mistakes out of myself, and maybe I would have been able to contend up front. Well, I wouldn't say up front, but inside the top 10. Track position is definitely key on these mile and a halves. Overdrove turn 1 really bad there. Trying to get a little bit of momentum on the outside. Middle line off the 2. A little more speed through 3 and 4 if I can. I get really loose off of 4, kind of kills the run off of 4.
That lap was at 32.57.
Try that little bit of a higher line. That's not going to be kind on the right side, but it'll help me carry a little more momentum off. Oh, that's not how you drive it at all. It's looking like a 12th place finish. 18's almost 4 seconds back. Not when I clip the apron like that. Ah, stupid mistake. So glad to have that massive gap back to the 18. Glad I caught it too.
Gap to Mosley.
Alright, so
Behind is now
8 to go.
3.3
We're just...
seconds.
I have to back off, let the tires cool down.
The gap in front has increased. It's now about
Work the
2.6.
car. 8's actually closing back up on the 15. It's only about half second back now. Maybe I'll get fortunate enough, they'll battle, somebody will make contact and they'll both wreck. And we'll get 2 free spots and get to the top 10. Got free spot luck before, but don't think that's going to be the case this time. Seven to go. It's likely I finish 12th. So we're 3 seconds ahead of the 18. 14 has fallen back big time. 22 and 21 have both worked by him. Lap car down low. It's off the racing line, super fine. 2.3 back of the 8. 8's now 6/10 behind the 15. Just want to see if I can gain any time on the 8 these last few laps. I know it's not going to likely turn into a spot, but at least feel good knowing that I had a little bit of pace in the back end had I not made the mistakes. Try to take some positive out of this. Getting too far to the inside, did the same thing again. Getting really good at saving in the slide, just
Okay, Jake. There's a car exit in the pits. Heads up.
really stupid on my part for doing that. Really stupid on my part.
That lap time was 33.24.
It's flat out driving in the car too low, hitting that apron.
The gap ahead is now 2.8.
4 to go next time by.
Push now. We can catch up here.
CrewChief being too optimistic, thinking I can catch up. So, certainly plenty to be desired out of this race, but I guess not the worst return. And after an almost 2-week hiatus at a track that I'm terrible at. A type, like I'm terrible at mile and a halves in any form of NASCAR, so couldn't expect too much out of myself. Big chunks of time. 10's falling back, he's now back to 10th. 15 works by him. 3 to go.
Mosley behind is now 3.5. That lap was at
Closing up to the
32.79.
8 big time. Probably could have had an 11th place had I not screwed up 3 and 4 so many times. We'll keep digging. I guess you never know what could happen. You never know, something could happen between the 10 and 15 up ahead as well. Gap's down to 1.4 with 2 to go.
2 laps remaining.
Feel like I've definitely torched the right front, given how much wheel I'm putting into it to get into 1. Stuff's starting to even out with the 8. I think we've only shot at any spots in some sort of contact between the 10 and the 15 up ahead. So look out for smoke. White flag. 15 start to pull away from the 10, so
White flag, last lap. Your lap time was
doesn't look like anything's going to happen
52.78.
there. And we held just about even, slight bit of gain on the 8 after that big gain that we made, so again, don't make the mistakes. Probably there to try to capitalize on the 8's mistake and maybe pull off a pass, at least get into the top half of the field, pulling away from the 18. So 12th place finish, basically top half.
There's the finish. Good
Improved
drive.
from where we started. Really just a so-so race. Not great, but not the worst race I've done.
Damn, Brandon, you ran me down
So
way back, dude.
we'll take it. Do what we can.
Yeah, man, I kind of overdrove that last
It's,
corner, that last lap.
always gonna be tough when I didn't really put any practice into this, and again, you know, it being one of my worst tracks and worst types of tracks, so take it what we can get. But look at the tires, 71, 72. Yeah, just slid it too bad. I mean, not a terrible job of destroying the right front and compared to the right rear, but definitely should have done a little bit of a better job. But stupid mistakes there in 3 and 4 every time killed me. Like you take a look at the lap times, as you see, every time I did that, 33.0 and then another 33.0. So you lost, I don't know, 8 tenths, 9 tenths like that quickly. Plus the time to try to reset. And you had the 33.2 there, 33.4. So really that's, you know, almost 8 to 9 tenths a lap. So realistically, you're talking probably closer to, um, you know, full second, which we were 1.2 back. So that really probably was the difference. I don't think we were getting to the 15 or the 10. I think they were just a lot faster. But yeah, frustrating to give it that much time and you know, make that many mistakes on my own and not get a spot. But we'll take it. It's kind of what it was. Look at the chat. People were saying 65, 69 was the race winner. 68, 72, 70, 60. Yeah, I guess I wasn't terrible on tires. I just could save. I just flat out didn't have the pace, which is typically tends to be the case. I can either have closer to pace and, you know, be within like half a tenth, but I tend to torch the tires, or I can save the same, but I just flat out don't have the pace. I got plenty of work to do that way, plenty to learn, and you know, I don't know, kind of reevaluating iRacing goals. I might step back, look at my progressions a little bit differently, maybe go, you know, more for a kind of one step at a time, master one thing. Maybe not run quite as so much of a wide variety in terms of the oval stuff, just to focus on that. Maybe run a little more variety in road or oval. I don't know. Again, it's always dependent on when I can get life to cooperate a little bit more. So we'll take a 12th place finish. Not really a ton in the way of incidents, so I don't think there's really a whole ton to look that way. So we'll go take a look at the results. Those should be up. See how bad that was. It was top split of 4:32:02 strength of fields. Like I said, not crazy strong, but decent one to come back into, especially for it being this late in the week. A little bit of our safety rating gain, 0.15, and tiny bit of our rating gain, 0.13. Lost quite a bit. You know, the last few races I tried to do before I took my break, so it's gonna be a longer grind to get it back up. You know, we were just a little above the 3,000 point a couple times, beginning first third of the season, first, you know, half of the season. So if I don't run as much, it's certainly going to take a long time to get up there. And you know, again, just kind of hitting this at this like next plateau where this is about where my natural abilities are. You know, not much greater. I guess it depends on what series I run. Kind of in this spot where I really got to learn and take that next step forward, or be forced to kind of just sit somewhere in this area. So you can see off the race winner is about 4 tenths off. You know, compared to a lot of people, lap was within a tenth or so. Just track position, a little bit of a key. You can see a lot of guys inside the top 10 that finished inside the top 10. Not a ton of spots gained from many people that way, and you know, just too many mistakes. Could have gotten by the 8 had I not made those mistakes the last 10 laps or so. And you know, just is what it is. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. We were kind of around people, sort of close to it, and hopefully gave you enough to watch. And like I said, I'll try to get a couple more of the rest of this week, see what we can do, and feel free to leave any driving tips. Hopefully you guys are happy to see another one. I'm glad to be back. Again, don't know if it's going to be every single day that'll be back, but just going to do what I can, fit in and around life. You know, like I said, things got to be a little more important than iRacing at times. I know this will always be here. I know you guys will be here. I love seeing the progress the channel's making the last few weeks before it, but yeah, I gotta be realistic and honest with myself at the same time too, and maybe it'll make the times that I do get to run, you know, I'll enjoy them even more no matter what happens, just because it is, you know, getting back to doing something that is enjoyable and fun that I enjoy usually. So competitive side of me hates losing, hates getting beat. I get frustrated with myself, especially when I feel like everybody talks about how easy it is and I can't learn it, but that's a separate issue on my own to work on. So I'll quit rambling and hopefully, like I said, get some more up. So Hope to see you guys around for more. Love to hear from you guys. And until the next one, I hope all your laps are fast, your races are clean, and your finishes are good. Thanks for watching.